Well, hey, folks. Today is February 11th at the time of this recording, and I just want to talk about something that happened apparently like last month. And first and foremost, this is gonna be a very very sensitive subject matter in that basically it involves the individual who I'm going to talk about. Basically, how can I say it without flagging myself? But basically, offing themselves, and which is tragic. But there was a lot of like I wanted. There's like a lot of weird psychological things going on regarding the whole incident, which led him to commit such a act, and it was a very irresponsible act. Everything, the whole thing was irresponsible. Well, once I get to it, so basically, if you don't know who Nautica Malone, so basically, did I mention Nautica Malone? I'm not even sure. Okay, so this is pertaining to an individual named Nautica Malone. So if you don't know, this took place in Arizona, and apparently they had a chain of coffee shops known as Bikini Beans Coffee. Now, much like much like the wings place, Hooters, uh, basically you have pretty ladies walking around, but instead they're dressed up in bikinis instead of just like like tight shirts and whatnot, or low cut shirts. So yeah, it's obviously trying to to coax a certain demographic to go do business with them. I'm pretty sure the business is doing very well with that type of business model. But in any case, working in such places, unfortunately, you get some, certain individuals where basically they're not, basically they won't handle it in a very mature manner. Let's just put it that way. And essentially, so what happened was, sometime last month, I believe it was probably like the first, like along the first 2 weeks of January of 2024. Basically, Nautica Malone uh, drove by the drive-through without any pants on. And you could go Google, you could go like YouTube the video, YouTube Nautica Malone. You can see the video if you haven't seen it. But basically, he's driving by and his hand is like close to his crotch, and he drives by the drive through. Now, and this is the thing. This is not his first rodeo. All right, because apparently what happened was the lady manning the drive-through at the time, she had her phone out recording because apparently this has happened previously. And in the video, he's driving up to the again. He's driving up to the drive-through window, no pants. All right, hands by his crotch, and he's like smiling, and the like. Where in his head would he think that is an appropriate thing to do? I mean, it just really makes you wonder. And it's like, and then like then the of course the lady asked him, hey, have you been here before? And he's and he was like very, he spoke with an optimistic yes. And then she was like, yeah, you need to get out of here, or I'm gonna call the cops. So then he sped off. Like, basically, why would you think your behavior was appropriate? Honestly, like, why would you? And it just seems like it just this seems like a scenario that just screams of like a lot of emotional immaturity. I may talk about emotional maturity. I'm definitely going to talk about emotional maturity down the line because that is a uh, huge subject matter. That's it's a problem that's kind of pervasive, especially with each new generation. But in any case, I mean, like, logically, why would you think that's a good idea to drive up to a drive-through not wearing any pants? Like, I, you just, it's just really, 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 really poor choice of poor choice in general. Poor, I was gonna say poor choice of move, which doesn't make any sense. But anyway, um, so no, this is the thing. I mean, this is the tragic part. Like basically, apparently it went so the lady uploaded it online. I think that's what happened, and then all this information, all this, like, of course the internet, it spreads virally because like that was a crazy stunt you pulled. I don't know, that he pulled. I And all of a sudden, things ended tragically when he claimed his own life. And this is the thing too. He was married with a child, so he left a wife, and I believe a was it a 1 year old child at the time? Yeah, 1 year old infant. So I mean, this just screams highly irresponsible behavior from a quote unquote adult. Uh, it's just this whole thing reeks of like bad, very bad judgment, very bad decision making from an adult, a grown ass adult. And basically, like, now apparently, why the going back to the uh to the lady that was manning the window, the drive-through window. Clearly this has happened before, so that's why she took out the phone. And apparently, what it seems like he would, I guess, like in the past, like he would park in within proximity of the establishment, and basically, how can I say this without getting flagged? I guess he was like stroking the flagpole, and it's just like, again, why would you do that in public? This behavior, it's like, that's a bad idea. That's important. You go home and do this, hey, you do what the hell you want to do at home, as long as it doesn't, you know it's not nothing violent against another human being, who, an innocent human being or whatnot. But it's just like, why would you do that in public? I mean, are you so is I mean, like, and the thing is that he's married, and on top of that, he's married, you know, and I mean, like, this is where I would say, like, basically, this is why before people get married, you really have to know each other very well. Was his wife not satisfying him enough or something? Like, what is going on here? I mean, if that was the case, I mean, basically, I think this is where the dating phase, something should have been brought up right before marriage. Like, hey, I'm kind of have a high sex drive, I mean, like, etc., 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 or something. But like, I mean, uh, not that I'm promoting, viewing stuff online, and doing your deed there, but but at least that's in your home, I mean, again, why would you do this in public? That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. And you have a wife and kid, and you're doing this. I mean, it's just like, and again, I mean, audience, like, really, you would think it's common sense, but it's just like, it just reeks of all emotional immaturity. It really does. It's basically his base desires got the better of him, right? Where you have to go to a public spot to, rub one off to employees just working there, you know to make a living. And they're wearing bikinis and stuff, but it's just like, you gotta have some sort of, like, I don't know, sense of decency. I mean, like, you should have just do it like right then and there. Like, what in the have some restraint, I mean, you know better. He should have known better. And then, like, then all of a sudden, like, he drives up to the drive-through with no pants on, with a big smile on his face. You know, I you know I this is just this like this situation really confounds me. And again, the final nail in the coffin, no pun intended, but the final act of, like, emotional immaturity is when he decides to, off himself after the video went viral. You're leaving a wife and your 1 year old child behind. You are responsible for that child that you brought to this earth. And you just left that, you just abandoned that child right then and there because you know what you were doing was wrong. You knew what you had to have known what you were doing was wrong. Driving up to the drive-through like that with no pants on. Come on now. Come on now. You know, it's regrettable that he did, off himself, but I mean, the man has to take responsibility for his actions. And a lot of these emotionally immature people do not take responsibility for their actions. After the video, the barista's video went viral of him driving the drive-through, went online. I mean, it's like he didn't want to hold himself accountable. You know, he didn't want to deal with it. It's like, that was a bad move. That was a bad call. That was a bad idea. You have somewhere in the back of your head, you have to know this was a bad idea, and yet you still did it. And now because you got caught, um, you know, you decide to go off yourself the easy. I don't want to say the easy way because I don't want to get into that, but but you decide to off yourself, leaving your wife and a 1 year old child behind. I mean, this is just a sad, very. It's just the whole situation is just sad on many different levels. I mean, this is just I. When I heard about this just recently, I'm just like, what in the hell's going on here? This doesn't make any damn sense. But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, this is just really, really, really. It was a bad scenario full of bad decisions that he should have known that it was a bad decision. Yet he just went along with it, and like it was just a series of bad decisions. And he should have known better. He should have known better. I'm gonna say right now, he should have known better. I feel sorry for the fact that he offed himself. I feel sorry for the fact that he left a wife and kid behind. But he should have known deep down that that was a bad idea, and yet he went along with it. So it's pretty sad. Emotional immaturity is a very sad, destructive, and prevalent, unfortunately, a very, very, very prevalent thing going on in the modern world in this era right now. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just my thoughts about this matter. When I heard about this, my jaw just dropped. Like, why would you think that was a good idea to do in the first place? Really. But in any case, I'm gonna leave it right here. Y'all have a good one. Good luck. God bless. Take care. And as always, keep it real. Later.